Why coaches pay us $50,000 to book more sales calls, how we source, hire, train, and manage elite appointment setters that consistently turn your attention into qualified sales calls, building the infrastructure that drives 20 to 50 to 70 to 100 plus booked calls every single month. We're going to explain how we do that and why we're paid to do that. So, most coaches don't have a lead problem, they have a conversion problem. Every single day, what is happening is the content gets posted, stories get viewed, leads enter their DMs, people show genuine interest, but they aren't being followed up with every single day. They're not being qualified properly, and there's no real conversation. It's just a many chat automation. And then because of that, there's not many booked calls. And if there are booked calls, there aren't as many as there should be. So the pipeline leaks, not at the top, but in the middle. Attention exists, yes. What's missing is the system to convert it. So the solution isn't more leads, it's the infrastructure that we build, or that you should be building. Next is sourcing elite appointment setters. So finding A players requires a deliberate, always on approach to talent acquisition. Volume and consistency are the foundation of a strong setter pipeline. We always want to be hiring. So never recruit only when desperate, only when you need to hire. Always have fresh candidates entering your pipeline every week. Great businesses recruit continuously, not just occasionally. Source across multiple channels, so not just Upwork, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, referrals, and setter communities, other businesses. Diversifying channels maximizes the quality and volume of the applicants. So you want to get as many applicants as possible. That's what we do at Apex Setting. Create a large candidate pool so elite performers are found through volume. The more quality candidates reviewed, the higher the probability of finding a true A player. You can talk to 20, 30 setters and none of them are going to be good. If you talk to 50 to 100, you're probably going to find some good people in there. And that's what we do for our clients. We talk to interview as many setters as possible. Okay, next. Interviewing setters the right way. So what's the test for? Critical thinking. Can they solve problems independently without waiting to be told what to do? This is a very important point. If you need someone who has to constantly look at the script or constantly need to come to you for asking them what to do, then they're not going to be able to improvise themselves. Adaptability, can they handle situations that fall outside of the script? Basically what I just said, sometimes a prospect asks something that is outside of what is on the script. So can they improvise? Can they, make a response that actually works outside of the script? Coachability, can they accept feedback from you, or are they stubborn? You want someone who can take coaching. They have a good high coachability rating, and you're able to coach them and tell them what to do. Common mistakes to avoid: generic interview questions that reveal nothing. So people who say, "Hey, how long have you been doing this? What is your past clients' results like?" They can just lie on all these questions, or even if they don't lie, they can just make it sound good. Focusing only on prior experience, as I just mentioned. Hiring based on confidence and charisma. So people will be on the phone, think this guy or this girl seems okay, let's hire them, right? Based on they seem like they have good confidence and whatnot. But you want to hire thinkers, not script readers, because most setters advertise themselves as setters, but they're actually just virtual assistants. So you want a type of person who can figure out what to say by themselves without needing a script. Yes, you're going to give them a script, but you need them to be able to think for themselves. So next is hiring for traits, not just experience. So most reliable hires are built on structure and objective scoring process, not just gut feeling, right? So when emotions are removed from the decision, the right candidate becomes obvious. So hire for the core traits: coachability, communication, persistence, and adaptability predict long-term performance better than someone with a really perfect CV. Next is score every candidate. A structured scorecard removes emotion from decision making and creates consistency across every hire. So once you're done an interview with every single person, you want to make sure that you've scored them in their coachability, communication, persistence, adaptability, experience. You want to make a score and then have an overall score. So compare side by side. So A players become obvious when you compare them to other setters. Never hire in isolation. Don't just talk to 5 or 6 or 10 setters and think you found someone good. Talk to as many as possible. Training is a process, not an event. So the three training principles: train weekly, not just once with the onboarding. Every single week you need to be training them, okay? Training every single week is one of our key principles at Apex Setting that we hire and train our setters, and we train them every single week. So number two is train for the offer. So every business is different. Training must reflect the specific offer, the audience, and the objections your setters will encounter. So if you have let's say a client who is, let's say, a health coach or a fitness coach or, a tutoring business or something like that, you need to have your setter reflect their business. So you need to train them on how to do that and how to talk differently to a different audience. Number three, train using real conversations. So actual objections, actual prospects, actual scenarios, not hypothetical role plays that don't reflect reality. So you want to give them an actual scenario, not just like make something up that is never going to happen. You want to give them a real actual scenario. Like if a prospect shows interest and then they ghost you, then what do you do? How do you follow up with them, right? That's going to give you a real insight into what they think. If they just say, oh, I'll follow the script, they're not very good. In other words, they need to be able to think for themselves. So safe access and account security. This is something that we specialize in. I don't know a single agency, a single appointment setting agency that does what we do. We allow a setter, to access an Instagram account without needing a password. Okay, one of the most overlooked risks in appointment setting is account security. Handing over passwords and credentials is a liability most businesses don't realize that they're carrying. So at my business Apex Setting, we don't want to give away passwords. What most businesses do wrong is they share full login credentials with a setter. They give them unrestricted account access and create no audit trail for activity, right? They just have the person doing what they do. The right approach is to separate access from ownership. So setters work within the account, but they never actually have your password. You restrict permission. You only grant the access to the required job, nothing more. And build accountability systems. So more security, less risk, and full visibility into the setter activity at all times. This is something that we're really unique at Apex Setting, my business. So we actually create a system where somebody can access your Instagram, they can do setting for you, they can manage your DMs and all that good stuff, but they don't need your password. They can work inside of your Instagram and they don't need your password or credentials or anything like that. They don't log in from their own device. We have a very sophisticated, secure way that we allow setters to work inside of the Instagram accounts of our clients without sharing credentials. And that's why people come to us at Apex Setting, because we're very good at this. It's one thing in particular. So, managing setters for consistent results. Unmanaged setters drift. Managed setters compound. The difference between a setter who performs for 1 week and one who performs for 12 months is the system. You can have the best setter in the world, but if the system isn't good, they're not going to be good. So response rates, conversions started, qualified leads and book calls measured every single day, not just in the quarter, they're measured every day. So at Apex Setting, we have KPIs that need to be met and measured every single day, and they are reflected to the clients every single day. Weekly feedback loop, so small, consistent improvements compounded dramatically over time. Weekly reviews keep setters sharp and motivated. So the weekly review is a very important thing for us and our setters. It's a very important thing because it allows us to improve our setters consistently. Most coaches, most agency owners are unable to consistently micromanage and train, and that's why they hire and fire so much the setters, but we are able to train them every single week because it's our job. Hold setters accountable. So system creates consistency, clear expectations, clear metrics, and clear consequences are non-negotiable. This is a very important thing. Setters need to make sure that they're hitting their numbers, yes, obviously, but also there needs to be clear expectations for what they're doing, what they're carrying out on a day-to-day basis. Every single hour that they're working needs to be met with pure productivity and not waste. And that's why with the system that I just mentioned, the one prior, yes, we're able to give secure access, but we're also able to see how they work. Okay, so why coaches and agencies pay us $50,000. Most coaches and agency owners are already running a complex business. Adding a full appointment setting function at the top means taking on sourcing and screening, interviewing, reviewing dozens of applicants across multiple platforms just to find a handful of viable candidates, training systems, So building scripts, objection frameworks, onboarding processes, and weekly training programs from scratch. They don't want to have to do this. Management and reporting, so daily oversight, managing the setter, tracking the KPIs, performance reviews, and constant optimization is the role itself. This is like 110 different jobs, and this is what coaches and agencies don't want to do. And that's why they're able to pay us, and they want to pay us, is because we actually help them out with all of these things in a short amount of time, and we can take care of all of it. So what clients actually want? They want results, not another full-time role to manage. They want a calendar full of qualified calls, not a hiring headache. They don't want to hire, fire. That's exactly why we built the entire infrastructure for them. We don't sell them a setter, we sell the entire system. Okay, so what Apex Setting does for clients is, when clients partner with us, they hand over the entire appointment setting function to us and get back a fully managed system that consistently turns attention into book calls. So first is build. So we source the setters, we screen them, vet them, interview them, and by them I mean 50 of them, 60 of them. We hire them, we onboard them, we make sure we filter through to find the elite setters, including secure account access setup. So we make sure they access the account safely, and then we train them. So every single week we're training them in a tailored way to their offer, using real conversations, real objections, real role play, real prospects. And we say, look, this is the kind of prospects we're dealing with. How would you overcome this? And if they don't know, then we basically coach them with that, and we stay with them every single week. Manage. So we manage their KPI tracking every single day. We manage their performance and their productivity inside of the job, inside of your Instagram account. Performance management, that's very important to us. Make sure we're getting the most out of the setter or setters if you need more. Feedback loops, so we make sure we give them constant feedback every single week, and continuous optimization. So the longer a setter works with us, the longer we have a setter that we're working with, they are improving. They're never just coasting, they are improving. So we have setters who come in, and on month 1 they're great, but by month 5 and 6 they're expert level, you know? So Apex Setting is my business. We help coaches and agencies to build the infrastructure behind booking 20, 30, 50, 100 booked sales calls per month. The goal isn't to hire a setter. That's not the goal. The goal is to build the entire system that I just mentioned. So this is my website, Apex Setting. Elite appointment setters trained to book sales calls. These are some of the clients: health coaches, fitness coaches, all types of coaches. We build the system out. We source the setters. We interview them, we screen them, we vet them, we filter out from 100 interviews who's the best. We hire them, we onboard them, and then we can keep training them and managing them to keep improving and to keep booking you calls. This is why coaches and agencies pay us. This is what we do. This is what we specialize in. We're the best at it. ApexSetting.com is where you need to go. And if you want to do this, of course, if you want to book a call, links in the bio, website in the bio, everything in the bio. Talk to you soon. Check out my other videos if you need help setting up an appointment setting system. Take care.